A teacher stood in front of a classroom and told a 9-year-old boy that his father was just a soldier, nothing special, one of thousands who wore the uniform and did his job. She had no idea that boy's father died pulling 3 men from a burning vehicle. She had no idea what was coming to that school the very next morning. Ethan Cole was 9 years old, and he sat in the back row of Mrs. Holloway's 4th grade class in a small town outside Colorado Springs. His father's Staff Sergeant Michael Cole had been killed 8 months earlier during a deployment overseas. Ethan did not talk about it much. He carried a small folded flag in his backpack every single day, tucked inside a plastic sleeve his mother had made for him. One afternoon, the class was doing show and tell about family jobs. Ethan stood up and said his dad was a soldier who saved people. Mrs. Holloway, tired and distracted after a long week, said something she would later regret for the rest of her life. She said, "Well, he was just a soldier. Ethan, there are thousands of them. It is not really that special." The classroom went quiet. Ethan sat back down and did not say another word for the rest of the day. That night, his mother Sarah noticed he barely touched his dinner. When she finally got him to talk, he told her what happened, word for word. Sarah did not yell, and she did not cry in front of him. She waited until he was asleep. Then she picked up her phone and sent one message to a number she rarely used anymore. It was the personal cell of Command Sergeant Major Diaz, the man who had served beside her husband for 11 years, the man who had knelt beside her at the funeral and told her that Michael's unit would never forget. She did not ask for anything. She simply told him what the teacher said. By 6 in the morning, Diaz had made 4 phone calls. By 7:15, 3 military transport vehicles were parked outside a small elementary school in Colorado. 22 soldiers in dress uniform stood in formation on the front lawn, boots polished, metals catching the early sunlight. Parents dropping off their kids slowed their cars and stared. A local news van that happened to be nearby turned its camera toward the school. Mrs. Holloway walked out to see what the commotion was and froze in the doorway. Command Sergeant Major Diaz stepped forward, removed his cap, and asked to speak to Ethan Cole. Ethan walked outside, confused, his backpack still hanging off one shoulder. Diaz knelt down in front of him, right there on the lawn, in front of the entire school. He said, "Staff Sergeant Michael Cole pulled 3 of my brothers out of a burning vehicle under enemy fire. He did not think twice. He did not ask what was in it for him. He gave everything he had so we could go home to our families. Your father was not just a soldier's son. He was the reason 22 men are standing here today, able to hug their kids." Then, one by one, every soldier in that formation stepped forward and shook Ethan's small hand. Some of them knelt down too. One young private, no older than 23, could not hold back tears as he told Ethan his father was the reason he made it home to see his newborn daughter. Mrs. Holloway stood at the edge of the crowd, hand over her mouth, watching a 9-year-old boy receive the truth she should have given him herself. Later that day, she asked to speak with Ethan alone. She did not make excuses. She simply told him she was wrong, that his father was not just a soldier, that his father was a hero, and that she was sorry for taking that away from him even for a single afternoon. Ethan forgave her, the way children often forgive faster than adults ever do. That evening, Sarah stood on the porch and watched her son run through the yard with a new patch one of the soldiers had given him, pinned proudly to his jacket. For the first time in 8 months, she heard him laugh the way he used to laugh with his father. Sometimes the world tries to shrink the size of someone's sacrifice down to a single dismissive sentence. But the people who truly understand what was given never let that sacrifice be forgotten. They show up. They kneel down. They tell the truth. And sometimes, all it takes is 22 men standing on a school lawn to remind one little boy that his father's love and his father's courage will never be just anything. If this story moved you even a little, that is exactly why we make them. Give this video a like if you believe every fallen hero deserves to be remembered. Drop a comment and tell us about a hero in your own life. And subscribe to Soul Relief Stories so you never miss the next story that reminds us what truly matters. Thank you for watching.